I'm at Universal to go to Halloween Horror Nights one last time. It is beyond Halloween by the time that I upload this, but tomorrow's Halloween when I'm here. I'm also gonna be seeing the show tonight, Nightmare Fuel. I just came from work. I've worked like 6 days straight this week, so I'm so excited to be here. I-4 parking ended up taking a long time. I wanted to try to get here before it got dark because I want to go over to Rip Ride Rockit because that has been completely demolished, and this is my last opportunity to go over to the sound stages before they close that pathway off. But I hyped myself up in the car with My Chemical Romance. I'm ready to go to Halloween Horror Nights and see Nightmare Fuel, and also eat food because there's a lot of stuff that I have not been able to eat yet, and have some drinks. I brought Brennan's refillable cup. I should make it into the park by the time that it gets dark. Whoa, losing my hat. I went full Universal Studios today. And something else is that daylight saving time is this weekend, so it is getting dark really fast. But there's a cold front, so the weather feels phenomenal right now. The juxtaposition of Christmas merchandise and then Halloween Horror Nights merchandise. It's almost dark and HHN just started. It's from 6:30 until 2 o'clock. There's not really a lot to see of Rip Ride Rockit because it's gone, but I think that they've started to put in the foundations for whatever's replacing it. Alright, I'm going to say that I made it before it got dark, but I do want to go to the sound stages. I'm trying to get some sort of a thumbnail outside because all the thumbnails have just been inside when it's been dark. Not that it really matters because it's going to be Christmas by the time that I edit this video. I didn't see the opening ceremonies, but hopefully at least the crowd has made it inside the park so I can just head straight through the entrance. It's really windy, my hat keeps blowing off. I made it to Universal Studios before it got dark. All the way from work, across town. I'm so hungry. And I'm in Halloween Horror Nights. It's almost a little bit spookier. It's overcast and dusk. What's the spookiest are the wait times though. I'm gonna go over here. This walkway is not going to be open after this event is over because of this construction for Rip Ride Rockit. This is the Nickelodeon building and Rip Ride Rockit is gone. There's nothing left at all. I'm going back this way over to the music soundstage plaza. I hate that it got dark so quickly. It was so fast. I don't think that I've watched this way through the scare zone. I've been exiting the park this way. This is a very low stakes night for me. I just want to come to the park and go to HHN one more time because I can. Halloween is tomorrow, so it might be really busy. I want to do a few houses, my favorite houses. This is the queue for El Artista. I'm gonna go over here. It looks like it's going to rain, but I don't think that it is. I think this is the cold front because it feels phenomenal. This is the other way to get back to Five Nights at Freddy's and Terrifier. This is a pathway that also won't be open after Halloween Horror Nights. It's so weird to just not see Rip Ride Rockit here, just to be able to see straight through the sound stages. It's sort of unnerving, but it is really unique, and this is what I love about vlogging, is just being able to be here while this is happening in the current state that it is, and just see what comes of this space. I started hoping for a Howard's Express train to go by, but you can see just right over to New York over there. That's the New York Library facade. The train is closed right now, but again, there's the New York City facade. And then this is where Rip Ride Rockit used to go through, right there. That's the Ghostbusters firehouse, I guess, but I'm going back this way now. I am hungry. It's kind of weird that you can just see straight through to City Walk now. All right, that's what I wanted to come back here and do before the sun completely set, which it did, I guess, technically. If parking took less than 30 minutes, I might have been able to see more of that, but I'm happy I got to see what it did because I'm not entitled to be able to see any of that at all. So that was Vlogger Roy trying to record that one last time before I don't have the opportunity to ever again. Now, this is HHN Roy, just having fun. And I think what I'm going to do, there's the New York City Library. I'm going to get a line for this. There seems to be a reason that this is so popular, so I'm going to get it. I'm going to get this Death by Cheese Stick. I wish they sold Express Pass for the snack stands, am I right? That actually only took like 10 minutes, but this is my Death by Cheese Stick, a giant hand-breaded mozzarella cheese stick with spicy marinara sauce. So I'm sitting over by Minion Cafe to eat this, but also in my theme park bag that I brought with me tonight. I did bring in Brennan's cup. I am going to use this time. We didn't use it last time. And then I brought this spooky energy drink, which I'm just gonna pour this in here. And then I also have my fan and my zoom lens. Fried food, energy drink, alcohol. Feels like an HHN night. All right, let's see what all the fuss is about. Whoa, that's spicy. Now I'm fussing about it. Look at how incredible this is. Hey everybody, this isn't relevant anymore, but this is good. So this is only to sip on. Whoa, throughout the night. That's not what I wanted to happen. I want to get an actual drink from HHN. 100% though, that was worth it. I get the hype. I've gone to these booths a lot, so I think that I'm going to get this Clown Cafe Bloody Popcorn. Everything just has to be spicy at HHN, but this is the Clown Cafe Bloody Popcorn. Crispy popcorn chicken with pepperoni, marinara blood sauce, and a spiced Parmesan. And it is popcorn. I didn't know if it was going to be just popcorn chicken, but it is popcorn too. This is kind of like, I might bring this in line with me somewhere. Just gonna go for it. That's delicious. Oh man, that's not even spicy at all. So I think that we get in line for El Artista. It's a 65-minute wait. I'm just gonna bring this in line with me. The line doesn't really look that bad right now, and I'll eat this and then get a drink after I eat this house. So I ate all of the popcorn chicken off of the top, and there was more popcorn chicken hidden in the popcorn. Red Rocket's gone. Oh my god. At some point there's gonna be another ride here, presumably another coaster, right? Behind these, in between these sound stages. I was genuinely convinced that they were still going to be taking down Rockit after HHN, and they tore the entire thing down. Already went through El Artista. That did not take that long. That is still one of my favorite houses. It's so gorgeous. That house entrance is right there, which happens pretty quickly. What am I gonna do now? I don't really know. Should I walk through a scare zone? It's funny because I do houses like this where it's just beautiful, and I want to do Halloween Horror Nights, but without the scares, in a themed environment like Harry Potter where I can just walk through the castle, but then I remember that I can just do that. That is the cue of Forbidden Journey. But then if you incorporate characters and themed entertainment where you actually do encounter characters from the story in a themed walkthrough like Harry Potter, that can be pretty cool, where it is like HHN but doesn't have that scary element. Scary is still cool. And maybe I'm still sort of talking about queues because they are so themed now. But with that entertainment element, I know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go to the tribute store. I have not gone through the tribute store at all. I wanted to like the scare zone more than I did. It is cool. It is very pretty. This scare zone is always the prettiest, definitely, and the most expensive. But this is the tribute store, which is probably the smallest it's ever been. Let's go to walk through it really quickly. This was the arcade, so it really is just this one room. What was the arcade? So actually this is pretty cool. This is the Museum of Antiquities, which is the facade for Mummy, and this is a statue of Poseidon, the occult artifacts of the world exhibit. While digging in a secluded mine within a once lost continent, the Global Discovery Group stumbled upon a multi-chambered series of tunnels, and they found this trident and many other artifacts, as well as the statue. Is this the trident from Poseidon's Fury? It might be. Am I the last person to actually read this and learn about this? So this is still attached to the exit for the Mummy, pretty much an extension of that gift shop. I think that this space does what it needs to do, the limited amount of space that they had to make this work. I gotta say though that if this is the space that they have for the Christmas tribute store, it'll be a bit of a bummer. So this is just the extension of the tribute store, I guess. All right. I saw it, I guess. Because this is the final weekend for HHN. A lot of the merchandise is 50% off, and I was gonna get this Mel's Dying shirt, but this is a shirt for ladies. They also have this one too, so I might get this one. I'm also getting this for Brennan. There are a bunch of other exhibits in here that I'm not going to be able to see because it is pretty busy right now, but I'm getting these shirts. Everything is discounted but the Five Nights at Freddy's merchandise. So now I want to try to find all the references to the Lost Continent, like Professor Baxter. This reference to Poseidon's Fury. And again, I'm sure that there's probably a lot that I've missed. That was one of the best discounts I've ever gotten. Maybe I should have done that on my way out of the park, but I bought some shirts and I'm going to do Nightmare Fuel now. I have over half an hour to go back to the Nightmare Fuel theater, and I'm going to try to see this show finally. A lot of the houses have over 2-hour waits anyway. We're gonna get to see the show, and she said that it was really good. This is Club Horror. I do want to come back to the bar back over here to get a drink, like the Speakeasy. Nightmare Fuel is my top priority. I have to put in effort to see this show. Also, if I miss this show, the next one isn't for hours, so I want to be able to do this and then go over to Gulkin. I think this is the line here. Yes, this was the queue, and I think that I'm going to make it into this next show. I hope so. At least if I go back here and do all these down and backs, and then queue up in this area, and then actually go to the theater. I do always enjoy coming back here because this is behind Diagon Alley and Green Dots. And I think that I made it before the cutoff. Yes, I am singing Nightmare Fuel. Look at this crowd though, waiting to go into the stadium. As long as I get a seat, I'll be happy. Generally, I try to get a seat that's like at the end of a row if I can, because these seats are very narrow. Theater's starting to load now. I usually go to this side, but today I went over here. So I know that I'm getting into the show, so I'm not really in any rush to get into the stadium because I just have to wait 15 minutes anyway. So I'm in the stadium, and now I just need to try to find a place to sit. I'm preferably at the end of a row, but the show is starting in like 10 minutes now. I think I'll sit right here, kind of in the middle of the stadium. Over. That was really cool. This is such an incredibly talented group of performers. I don't know if you can hear me right now, but the pyrotechnics, the fire, the aerial elements, the dancing, it's such an incredible show. Just like getting into the theater, there's not really much of a rush for me to get out of the theater, but I'm going to go over to Gulkin next. I don't really ever notice much of a difference between shows year to year. I do appreciate that they continued the storyline from last year, and if there's a huge regret that I have with HHN, it's that I never saw a Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure show in this theater, and I regret it to this day, so I try to see the show every year if I can. That is a huge bird to lift it though. I don't know why, but I struggle to see this show every year. So Gulkin was posting a 1 hour wait, so I'm going all the way back here, and then I can work my way back to the front of the park. I love these tents back here, but I'm not going to miss the walk to get all the way back to these houses. I'm doing Gulkin Monsters of the North. So it took me more than 4 hours, but I finally did more than one house at HHN tonight. Also, I've been yawning just the entire night. I want to get a drink, but I think I'm gonna do Dolls next. So I want to go to the Black Cat Lounge, but I want to see if there's another place I can get a drink. There's also the Lagoon Show, which I saw the finale of that with Travis, so I'm okay if I don't see the entire show. That was the finale. So Dolls Let's Play Dead is a 45-minute wait. I'm gonna go and do this because I'm back here. So I took that time in line to try to figure out what I wanted to do next after this. And it's going to be to get a drink right over here. There's a drink that I really want to get. What I appreciate about that house is that there's not really much blood. There's definitely gore and horror. There's not a lot of blood. But that was the last house that I wanted to do back here. I've done my third, fourth, and fifth favorite house this year, so I have my second and first to do at the front of the park. The camera's been really weird with like blurriness and light. There's actually a couple drinks over here that I'm sort of in between. There's a fireball drink and then an orange creamsicle drink, and I think I'm going to get that one. Years ago I got a Universal Game Pass, and I don't think that it expires. We used it at the front of the park when they had games up there, but I need to bring that back at some point. There's also a dessert that I think I'm going to get over here. So this is the food booth that I wanted to stop at. I'm probably going to get this Mom Cut the Crust Off PB&J. And then these are the drinks that I was in between, this Toy Box Cider and Blood Orange Creamsicle. I want both of them. So I got my drink and my PB&J, but I did sort of screw up. I'm bringing this over to SpongeBob Store Pants. It is so quiet over here. This is where you get pizza fries. So this is the Mom Cut the Crust Off PB&J, which is a fried PB&J with hot maple syrup and chili cakes. And then this is the drink that I got. I wanted to get the Blood Orange drink, but then at the last second I changed my mind and I got the Toy Box Cider. But the problem is, there was a miscommunication in that I bought a new one by accident. I thought I was getting a refill with the souvenir cup that I already had, but I just paid for a new souvenir cup, which stinks because this was $18. A refill of this would have been $14, so I paid more, and now I have another cup. But this is the Toy Box Cider. This is Fireball Cinnamon Whiskey, lime juice, cinnamon, ginger, and black sugar syrups with sparkling apple cider and a gummy bear garnish. Also, they gave this to me, and I had my bag open to get my souvenir cup out, and I just poured this all over my bag. I'm gonna open it myself or not, clarifying that I already had a souvenir cup, but those transactions always happen kind of fast. That is really good. A little bit watered down, but very cinnamon-y. So I've cut this up a little bit. That's awesome. Whoa. Is this just like a fried Uncrustable, pretty much? The chili flakes, I don't know about those. I don't really taste them yet. I'm sure that they're spicy. Everything is spicy at HHN. So I just fought like hell in the bathroom for like 15 minutes, but I finally moved my drink over to this and then cleaned my cups and got everything back into my bag. And now I'm gonna go through the cat lady scare zone. I'm standing right next to the speaker, so I doubt you can hear anything that I'm saying, but there's the cat lady.
Come on up here. See for yourself. Well, I'm not the mean old lady children seem to think I am. Don't Don't you be a scaredy cat. Yes, 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 yes. Well, I just have my little home. All my furry babies all around. Oh, you can see my beautiful forest and the crooked little lane. You children should have more respect.
So I do want to have another drink, but I think I'm going to go back here to get some more food. There's a very probable possibility that I'm going to regret this, but I'm going to get the flamin' hot birria ramen. There's also the walking tacos back here. So maybe this is a good thing, but they're currently out of the ramen. They do have some drinks here too. There's Berry Scary and Sourpuss, which do look pretty good. But I'm set on going over to New York, so I wanted to walk through this. This is really cool. Ow. So I think I'm going to go towards the front of the park. I do want to eat something else. I don't know what. Something savory, I'm pretty sure. I think I'm okay. And the sweet food, I always prefer the savory over the sweet at HHN, definitely. I could stop over here. I did stop here before, though. I really wanted that ramen. I was very curious about it. I don't need to eat something, but I am still hungry. And I wanted to get something to go along with the drinks so I could drive home in an hour or two. So at some point, the mic on my camera died, and I didn't realize it, but I'm back here at Terrifier. It's a 90-minute wait. Right now, it is after midnight. It is Halloween, so I'm gonna get a line for this, hopefully. And I'm gonna do the dry path this time because I've only done the wet path. And then I'll try to maybe get some food and then get in line for Five Nights at Freddy's. So that took forever, but I'm heading into the house now. I kind of regret waiting for this, and I hope it's as fun as I remember. So I regret the dry path. That was really boring. And that house took me forever to wait in the queue for. I can't believe my mic died. I was all the way in the back of the park. I talked about what I wanted to do, which is the plan that I ended up committing to, which was to go to Terrifier and then maybe get something to eat or drink and then go do Five Nights at Freddy's. I might switch that up now, but I walked through the Masquerade Scare Zone. I walked past the Nickelodeon building when it turned to midnight and it was officially Halloween. I walked past the Five Nights at Freddy's queue and then I walked all the way back to Terrifier to find out my mic had died. So what I think I'm going to do, I'm just going to do this now. I'm just going to get in line for Five Nights at Freddy's. It is almost 1 o'clock in the morning. HHN is over at 2 o'clock in the morning, but I don't know. I'm gonna be over here, so I might as well do this, go back to the front of the park, and then see if I want to get something to eat. I'm not gonna get anything to drink now. I thought about it, but I think I'm good. Also, Terrifier, I appreciate the variety of that house, but I think the gore caught up with me a little bit. I'm gonna have to rearrange my list a little bit because I think it fell down. So I'm going back around the corner and into Five Nights at Freddy's. This is my final house of HHN this year. And Five Nights at Freddy's is an 80-minute wait. This doesn't look that bad though. I think I waited in a longer line than this first time that I came to HHN, so that was not nearly as bad as Terrifier, but I'm going inside. Five Nights at Freddy's, my final house of HHN this year, my favorite house. Yep, still my favorite house at HHN. I just like to have fun, I think, at HHN more than I like to be scared. There are holes over here in the fence. That is what's left of Rip Ride Rockit. That's sad, but cool. So I have less than an hour until HHN is over tonight. I wanted to get something savory instead of sweets, but I don't know if I want to get something savory now. It's 1 o'clock in the morning. I'm gonna go down to Delancey Streets. I want to go over to this, I keep thinking it's like a speakeasy. I don't know if it is. I just want to see what they would have had over there if I wanted to get a drink, which I'm not going to. But then I'll grab some sort of food. I might just get that cupcake that's over at Louis, the Five Nights at Freddy's cupcake. I walked past Delancey Street, but I think this is the entrance right here. Yes, the Black Cat Lounge. So they had a ragamuffin mocktail, a cat's meow, and then a Zazzler. It's kind of eerie back here, but this is the drink booth. Not really as exciting as I thought it would be, but am I gonna get the cupcake? I don't know. Yeah, I'm getting the cupcake. I can bring it home and share it with Brennan tomorrow. There's some pretty unfortunate looking cupcakes up there, but I got a beautiful cupcake. Look at this cupcake. What's his name, Mr. Cupcake? So I'm not going to eat this here. I am going to try to bring this home somehow in my car. I could smush it into the cup that I bought unnecessarily. I've somehow spilled everything on myself though. Oh my God. Literally saying, I've somehow spilled everything on myself recently. So we'll see how that goes. And then here we are. Well, this is pretty much how I feel tonight. So it only makes sense. Still, but what a fun night at HHN. Whoa. I didn't know that happened. That was cool. I didn't really want to bother cleaning this up, but I think that I'm going to have to. I moved the cupcake over to my souvenir cup, so it did serve a purpose. So by the time that I get back to the car, it will be 2 o'clock in the morning and HHN will be over for the night, but that was my final trip to the event this year. Technically on Halloween. Tonight, it is Halloween. So happy Halloween, happy Thanksgiving, Merry Christmas, whenever you watch this, whenever I finally catch up with videos that I'm going to edit for this channel. But I did do my top 5 houses, which I did rearrange a little bit. So my number 1 is still Five Nights at Freddy's. Number 2 is El Artista, a Spanish Haunting. Number 3 is Vulcan, Monsters of the North. Number 4 is Terrifier, and the number 5 is Dolls, Let's Play Dead. So I did get to do my top 5 houses, which took all night, but I also did a show that is over there that I've been wanting to see, Nightmare Fuel. Finally got to see that. Incredible show. I got to try some food that I haven't had at the event thus far. I walked through the scare zones again. I had a good night at HHN tonight, and this is an irrelevant video, but I wanted to go one last time before it was over, but this was my final trip to Halloween Horror Nights. Thanks for watching. I'll see you soon. I'm gonna get this cupcake home. I'm covered in cupcake, I'm covered in fireball, but I had a good night tonight. Good night. Thanks for watching. Also didn't go to the Dead Coconut Club this year. Whoopsie.